Hello again. This is another brand review of a non-US brand for those of you outside of the US. This is from the UK, and this is a recommendation from Cecile or Cecily. Sorry about that. This is Base Formula. So let's go ahead and take a look at Base Formula. Again, these companies are not ones that I'm familiar with, so I am seeing this from for the first time, as maybe some of you are. So let's take a look at their essential oils. It looks like they have other products as well. I like to look at their singles. I like to see what kind of safety information that they provide, if any. Bergamot is one of the ones I generally click on first. It's an easy one because this is phototoxic, and they should know that. Normally, companies, if they have any safety mindedness at all, will also let you know the safety that they know. And it does look like they do, so that's good to see. So avoid massage if skin is very sensitive. Bergamot oil can cause burns when used on sensitive skin, which is then exposed to sunlight. Now, it's really any skin, it's not just sensitive skin. If you are applying bergamot essential oil topically to the skin and you aren't keeping it to the 0.4% topical max, and you go out into the sun or expose it to UV light, it can cause phototoxic burns. And that is what they are telling you here. So that is great that they are aware of that safety feature, or that safety possible adverse reaction that is with bergamot. I am really glad to know that they are including that. Good to know. Okay, very good. So let's see what else they have. Black pepper, black spruce, buchu, cade. Glad to see that's rectified. That is not safe to use if it's not rectified. Camphor, glad to see that they're specifying that it's white. There are 3 kinds of camphor, and most companies don't distinguish between white, yellow, and brown. White is the preferred one to use if you are going to use any at all. Do not use if epileptic, pregnant, suffering with a fever, or sensitive skin in children under 2. So let's look at the technical safety issues for camphor. Technically, it should be for white, safe for pregnancy. They're listing that it's not, but it is safe for pregnancy, is safe for breastfeeding, is safe for children. Let's see. It does not have a topical max. So they're a little bit overcautious on this part right here, which it's really hard to find places that are more overcautious than I am. Let's see. Being epileptic is not an issue with camphor specifically. Well, I suppose it depends what the content is. So that's a possibility. But it is safe for use during pregnancy. All right. It is. Let's see, anything else to be avoided around pets as well. Okay. Good to know that they have that addition in there. Good, good, good. Let's see what else I can find. Cardamom. This is going to be high in 1,8-cineol, and they should let you know it's not safe for under age 10 years old. I'm not seeing that listed here. There's no age minimum on this. Cardamom is for ages 10 plus. I'm not seeing that here. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Carrot seed is not safe for use during pregnancy, which is what they let you know. So that's great. Good to know that they have that listed. Very good. How did I get here? Okay, so I must have scrolled to the end. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. How to use essential oils. It doesn't look like they're recommending ingestion, which is good. General safety advice. Let's look at their general safety advice. Yes, they're flammable. Keep out of reach of children. Certain should be avoided during pregnancy. Okay, bergamot are phototoxic. Okay, that's a little bit generic, but that's fine. At least they have some. That's good, not bad. Let's go back to their single essential oils and see what else we can find. So we have cinnamon leaf. This is pregnancy safe as opposed to bark, which is not. Use in moderation, 2 drops in aromatherapy bath and 1% concentration for massage. So that's a little low. You do have to dilute cinnamon bark and cinnamon leaf to 0.6 and 0.01%. It's also anticoagulant, which means it can thin the blood, and I'm not seeing that here. But they are definitely aware that cinnamon can be irritating, which is good to know. Sometimes companies don't have that listed at all. Let's see about their clary sage. Clary sage doesn't have safety issues. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So they do flag it as not safe for use during pregnancy, but it is. It is safe for use during pregnancy. Sage is not, clary sage is. Clove bud. Let's see if they flag this for being potentially blood thinning. Doesn't look like they have that here. It is pregnancy safe. You do need a very low topical max, 0.5%, and they're saying 1%. It's not entirely accurate. What about their eucalyptus? Let's see. So this is the one that's high in 1,8 cineol. And it does not... Okay, so they are saying do not use on children age 3 and under. It really should be age 10 and under. It is safe for use during pregnancy. So that is not accurate, but hey, being overcautious is not a terrible thing. Better to be safe than sorry, right? Sweet fennel is potentially carcinogenic. Avoid during pregnancy. Good thing. Do not use with children under age 6. I would recommend do not use it at all, but at least that they are letting you know that this does have some safety concerns and to be careful. So that is good. Okay, let's skip to the end. Let's see what they have to say about ylang ylang. You know what? Sweet birch is going to be pretty much the same as wintergreen, which I'm not even seeing here. So let's take a look at their ylang ylang. This has a very low topical max. Nausea or headaches in high concentrations. That can be true of any essential oil if you overuse it or over diffuse it. May irritate hypersensitive people. Not sure why particularly. Vetiver, valerian, turmeric, thyme. Thymes have safety issues depending on which one that it is. Okay, so let's look at sweet birch. This is very similar in composition to wintergreen as far as safety issues go. It has quite a bit of safety. Okay, good. So I like seeing this. It is potentially toxic. That's true. It does contain methyl salicylate, which is the active ingredient in aspirin, so should not be used on anybody who is sensitive, allergic to aspirin. That is correct. So if you are using aspirin, if you are on blood-thinning medication, you definitely want to avoid. That is good to know. So they definitely have that listed here. Excellent. So it looks like they do have some safety information, which is good. Not everybody even has any safety information at all. So although they could do with a little bit of tweaking of their safety information, I'm glad to see that there's some here. So that's great. Let's see if they have any blends. Pre-blended essential oils. Excellent. So let's see what they're doing with their formulations. Breathe Easy is going to have... That's not a surprise. Okay, so let's look at the ingredients. Eucalyptus, peppermint, hyssop, myrtle. Okay, up here they're saying, yeah, hyssop, myrtle. So hyssop and myrtle do have some safety issues. So this I would not recommend. Let me show you exactly. So let's see for the hyssop. FGH. It will depend also on the hyssop that they are using. So let me see if they indicate which one. So hyssop officinalis. So they aren't letting us know whether it's the linalool chemotype or the piano-camphene chemotype. The linalool chemotype would be safe. So if they are using the linalool chemotype, that is safe for all ages in pregnancy, etc. The piano-camphene hyssop is not recommended to use at all. It is neurotoxic and maybe carcinogenic, not safe for pregnancy, breastfeeding, has a very, very, very low topical max. So there's kind of a question mark on this one because we don't know. Let's look up the myrtle. Again, it will also depend on the type of myrtle that they're using. There's several different kinds of myrtle. So myrtle communis. So that is one that is not recommended. It is potentially carcinogenic as well. So I generally don't recommend using myrtle at all. So this blend is not something that I would recommend using. I don't really see a way to use that one safely. Let's see, Digestion Pure. Let's see what this has. So this has cardamom. So this would be ages 10 plus. We have dill, bergamot mint, corn mint, and tangerine. So this will probably be effective, but needs to be used on ages 10 and above. I'm not sure what they have here for the recommendations. Do not use with children under 7. So that's close. That's pretty close. Add to diffuser. Massage 4 drops for 10 ml of carrier oil. So you can use this topically. Typically with digestive blends, inhalation is going to be more effective, but you can use it topically. Just make sure that you are breathing it as you are applying it topically so you do get that inhalation as well. Let's see what they have in their relaxing blend. Frankincense, cedarwood, and red mandarin, and yarrow. So that can be relaxing. Let's just take a peek at yarrow. So yarrow is slightly neurotoxic, has an 8.6% topical max, has a few drug interactions, not safe for use during pregnancy. So I would not recommend using this during pregnancy. Sweet Dreams. Let's see what they have in this one. Lavender, chamomile, valerian, cedarwood, red mandarin. Mandarin is generally, it can be calming, for sure. Sometimes it's more energizing, but it's listed with a bunch of other calming, and cedarwood and valerian are both sedative. My throat is getting dry and I don't have any water. So this is probably going to be effective for most people, because it does have those sedative essential oils in it. And let's take a look at uplifting. LMI, rosemary, grapefruit. Yep, that would be effective for uplifting. Rosemary essential oil should be avoided throughout pregnancy if suffering with epilepsy. Depending on the rosemary, that could be true. And yes, if you are suffering from epilepsy, rosemary can often trigger that. But it's typically for the 1,8-cineol chemotype of rosemary, which is safe during pregnancy. So perfect. So if you have any questions about anything I've said, let me know. It looks like they do have in mind that essential oils do have safety precautions. They're not 100% accurate on some of the information that they are offering. Some of their blends could use a little bit of work, but if you have 1 or 2 of these books, which can be found at ueoslibrary.com, then you can have the safe and accurate safety information and look up for yourself how to use it without relying on this website to give you all the safety information that you need, because there is some lacking. I do appreciate that they do have some flags in here, and in fact a couple of them were a little bit overcautious, which is not a terrible thing. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you soon.